So if you're wondering what I do for work, I work as a real estate agent. I've been full-time back working as an agent for 2 months now. The company I'm working with is really great. So in this video, I wanted to talk about my experience working back as a real estate agent in New York City. So I've been mostly working out of Brooklyn. That's where I live. And so the neighborhood I've been focusing on is Bed-Stuy. Ooh, these look bad. The mirror is so far from me, I can't see myself. My sinuses are a little blocked, so sorry if I sound so weird. So I've been working out in Bed-Stuy mostly, right? And so who I've been working with are private landlords. So what a private landlord is, one landlord that owns the building, just one person. In New York, you'll find that a lot of the people you deal with for buildings is like usually a management company or a group of people, right? A corporation, not an individual. So a lot of the buildings in Bed-Stuy are owned by individuals and rented out by individuals, especially for those iconic brownstone tree-lined blocks, right? And those are my preference for working with buildings and landlords, like nice, those brownstone streets are my favorite to work on. So something I wanted to talk about, and it's a little maybe controversial, is gentrification in the neighborhood. And the people that we think are responsible for gentrification are not really who we all assume it is, and that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. Most of the landlords are longtime residents of the neighborhood, right? And from the community, from the neighborhood, right? And if you know anything about Bed-Stuy or Brooklyn and anything about these historical neighborhoods, then you know what I'm talking about. Like just people who have lived here for a very long time. And so these homeowners are the ones that are responsible for gentrification, or just partially, you know, of course partially. And no one ever realizes that. No one ever realizes that a lot of these homes owned by minorities, and I can say that word minority, I'm a minority. So a lot of these minority homeowners, I've noticed, don't want to rent out to minorities. And of course, no landlord has ever said those out loud in words to me. Whenever I would present a qualified application to some of these landlords, they would always find a reason to not take the application. They would say really questionable things like, oh, this person looks too loud. Looks too loud? Yes, a landlord has definitely said that to me, and I find that kind of crazy. Like, how can you, as someone who looks like this applicant, whose kids look like these applicants, how could you make this assumption that they look too loud or they look too troublemaking? It kind of blew my mind when I would offer applications of, you know, other kinds of people, right? They would never question other applicants and say, oh, these applicants look so loud. I find that kind of crazy. And that's something that really I don't understand. But anyway, that's not really all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about real estate in general. If you're considering doing real estate in New York City, I definitely recommend it. I came in with the intention of being a hotshot, you know, Manhattan real estate agent, but I think because I don't live in Manhattan, it's like actually quite hard to build your business somewhere where you don't live, because you always have to be available. So the first month I came back was in June, and I tried really hard to focus out in Manhattan, and what ended up happening was I was spending an insane amount of time commuting. Like, I think I was in the subway so much more than actually doing actual work. Like, I was just in the subway all the time, and I was spending so many hours walking here, here, walking there, walking here. That first month in June, I was definitely taking about 20,000 steps a day. 20,000 steps, y'all. Can you believe that? And I was very tired. I was very exhausted. I wasn't closing any deals. I was getting nowhere. And then I just started focusing in my own neighborhood here in Bed-Stuy. And then last month, I did a lot better than I thought I would, honestly. So it was so nice to make the kind of money I did last month. I was very happy about that. So if you're looking into real estate, I would strongly suggest starting in your own neighborhood first, because like, you know that neighborhood, you're always there, you're always available. When you're always in one place, the opportunity just kind of falls into your lap. So that's definitely what happened to me. So my company gave me a few listings to work on. As I was working on these listings, like, I just kept meeting other landlords in the neighborhood that would give me, okay. For my nose, I need to concentrate. Oh, I already messed my nose up. Let me try to save it. Where was I? Yes, I started meeting landlords just randomly who would give me opportunities. I know so many people looking. At the end of June, I was really trying to end everything on a good note, but what ended up happening was one of my deals just kind of went terrible. It went so terrible. So I sent in a deposit for a listing. Okay, it was a 1-bedroom in Bed-Stuy. A really nice girl wanted to put in an application and just move along the process very fast. And so I'm getting her paperwork ready. I'm getting everything ready. And so she gets approved for the apartment and we schedule a lease signing. And literally everything is happening like really 2 days. So let me backtrack. This apartment I had been advertising for about 4 weeks. No one wanted it because it was so expensive. It was a 1-bedroom and the original listing price was almost $2,300. And you know, it could be an okay price. I have rented out 1-bedrooms at that price point, but this particular building was not, but this particular building and location was not that desirable. So $2,300 price point was definitely too much. No one wanted it. And my gut instinct was telling me, oh, stop advertising this apartment, give up on it. I had already spent so much money to advertise it. The same night I was debating on taking this listing down, this young woman emailed me for it, asking questions about it. I sent her a video tour. She really liked it. She put it in her application. And so the next day I submit her application to the landlord. She gets approved. And the day after that is scheduling for lease signing. And then right before lease signing, something happened and the landlord was asking for a third deposit. So in New York, the deposits are first and security. That's as much as a landlord can charge you for deposits. But something happened and that I can't talk about. Obviously, right before lease signing, if someone asks you for a deposit that you weren't prepared to give, it's kind of a bad situation, kind of scary, right? You're like, oh, why? Like, that's kind of shady. That's maybe not a landlord that I want to be a tenant for a whole year, because who knows what else could come. Who else knows what they will demand later on, right? So I didn't blame her. I totally understood. She was skeptical and then she didn't want to apply for the apartment anymore. And so by this time, we had already given her deposit in, a full 1 month's deposit in for this apartment. The landlord, all of a sudden, he doesn't want to give the deposit back. And so it was a whole legal thing. My customer threatened to sue me. I mean, she has no grounds to sue me, but still, just that whole process of hearing a customer, you know, blaming me, mad at me, and then realizing it's my fault for like causing, like I was a part of, I mean, it wasn't my fault, but I was a part of this process for causing my customers such distress. I was so upset. I had to get my company involved and ask them for help, and it was like 2 days of back and forth trying to get my customer's deposit back. And then the president of my company, you know, he stepped in to help me out, and he finally got the landlord to give the money back. And instead of wiring the money right back to my customer's account, because that's how she gave her, she just wired it right away, right? He's like, oh, he's sending a check. Oh my God. And that, you know, was more red flags, more scary. My customer was like really not having it. She kept threatening to sue me. Oh my god, so crazy. But everything all worked out. She got her money back. She just confirmed it with me today, which is like a week and a half later, that all the money is back into her account. So everything's fine. So after dealing with that, you know, I'm a pretty emotional person. So that kind of like took me back. I wasn't feeling very good. I needed a little break. I'm feeling better and I'm ready to jump back into action. Okay, my makeup's all done. I'm satisfied, whatever. Now I just need to get an outfit. Okay, so this is my outfit. I don't know if you could see it, but yep. Okay, so it's just a pinstripe dress, headband, and then just a little sweater because I hate how low neck this is, but okay. That's all. Okay, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.